The migration of the Irish. I did the migration of the Irish, referring to the Irish potato famine, because, well, I'm Irish, but it's not really because I'm Irish. It's just because, I kind of wanted to learn. I find it, kind of funny how, they all moved. I'm here today in America because of a potato won't grow. But, as I did my research, I just realized it's, kind of sad. It was kind of sad, how actually, deep it was. Families got stranded and stuff. I'm not going to get into it now. Okay, I did that on, that's why I did the migration of the Irish. Ireland pre-potato famine. Ireland had not experienced an easy past. In 1695, British penal laws stole rights from Irish Catholics as a punishment for supporting a Catholic king instead of a Protestant. Because 80% of Ireland was Catholic, these laws were not designed so these laws were designed so the Irish would never threaten Protestant rule again. However, multiple penal laws still occur 140 years later, into the 1829 Catholic Emancipation. There were also many problems with child labor. Many families had to split up due to the 2.5 million living in poverty. Children were the ideal employees because they could be paid less, were often smaller stature, so they could attend to more minute tasks, and were less likely to organize and strike against their pitiable working conditions. Push and pull factors. Some push factors for leaving Ireland were extreme poverty, depression, and famine, like the potato famine. And some pull factors from America was the American economy, because it was very stable at the time. Jobs that required no skill, because the Irish were they were thought as I'm gonna talk about this later, but they were thought of as not smart, because they were all they all had no money, so they couldn't go to school. And in America they had religious options, because in America freedom for religion. So Ireland during the potato famine. In 1845, when a fungus-like organism called Phaeothoric infestans spread rapidly through Ireland, the infestation ruined up to one half of the potato crops that year and about 3/4 of the crops over the next 7 years. Because the tenant farmers of Ireland, then ruled as a colony of Great Britain, relied heavily on the potatoes as a source of food, the infestation had a catastrophic impact on Ireland and its population. That caused them to move to America. The immigrants who reached America settled in Boston, New York, and other cities where they lived in difficult conditions. But most managed to survive, and their descendants have become a vibrant part of American culture. Ireland's religious beliefs. The predominant religion in the Republic of Ireland is Christianity, with the largest church being the Catholic Church. The Constitution of Ireland says that the state may not endorse any religion and guarantee freedom of religion. At the time, the main religion in America was Evangelical, Methodist, and Baptist. How the Irish adapted to the change. The Irish often had no money when they came to America, so they settled in the four cities which they arrived. They crowded into homes, living in tiny, cramped spaces. A lack of sewage and running water made diseases spread. Most were illiterate, and many spoke only Irish and could not understand English. And although they had lived off the land in their home country, the immigrants did not have the skills needed for large-scale farming in the American West. Instead, they settled in Boston, New York, and other cities on the East Coast. Cultural items brought to America. Cultural items and ideas, but it's mostly cultural items. Cattle, swine, poultry, and honeybees. And they also introduced wheat, barley, rye, and fruit trees. And the diet of the New Englanders was plain, featuring cod and corned beef. Irish culture in America today. Irish culture in America is very widespread and visible as such due to St. Patrick's Day, when it is said every American is Irish. Many Irish began to immigrate after World War I. However, there was a decline in immigration after U.S. Congress began to limit the numbers of individuals immigrating. And I'm doing this part at the end, so you remember it. The origin of Ireland. The Vikings founded Dublin, Ireland's capital city, in 988. Following the defeat of the Vikings by Brian Boru, the High King of England, at Clonardorf in 1014. The Vikings' influence faded. The 12th century saw the arrival of the Normans.